If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified of new videos. Hi there. Thank you
Hi,
for
Megan.
joining us. So my question is actually for Amy. Your filmography is extensive in terms of live action and voice acting. So I'm curious to know, do you have a preference and how has it been?
Voiceover.
Ugga?
Always had a preference.
That's good news.
It's funny. I mean, a lot of time now that I've become a more on-camera actor, there's people who like wonder if I'm available for voiceover. And I'm like, oh, I started with voiceover. Voiceover is my first love. And there's no comparison. Of course, as an actor, I always wanted to do on camera because that's what every actor thinks they want to do. And then when I started to do on camera, I was like, wait a second. I got to worry about the way I look, and I have to sit here for 15 to 17 hours, and I got to be here at 4:40. I mean, did a show last week where my call was 4:14 in the morning, and I mean, and I finished at like 5 or 6 o'clock at the end of the day, and it's like, what do I do with you guys? I get to come in for like 2 hours, wear whatever I want, no makeup, not shower, have a blast, and go home and get a paycheck. I mean, it's people should hate me, and many do, because I get to do this for a living. And I mean, the on-camera stuff is actually, what's been cool about it is I feel like it's opened up more of the animation world to me, because I used to just be almost exclusively commercial voiceover and promo, and then as people got to know me as an on-camera actor, I got more opportunities to do animation. So that's been one of the great gifts of on-camera for me, is that I felt like I'm getting to do more of this, which is really fun. Doesn't pay as much as a pharmaceutical commercial, I will tell you, but
Those two pay well.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I would just add to that doing voiceover is incredibly hard. It looks like it would be easy. Seems like it would be even easier, but you really only have your voice as an instrument, and it's tough. It's tough to do it right. And Amy is incredible at it. We're very
Absolutely.
It is one of those, you're absolutely right, though, that it's one of those things that a lot of people are like, well, I could do that. All you're doing is talking. But it definitely has a certain skill set. I mean, it's
so much harder than you would think.
Yeah, it's
right?
much more intricate. But the actual job of voiceover is such a joyous, and I mean, I think voiceover actors are some of the happiest actors you'll meet, because a lot of the work that we do is very scrutinizing of your age and your looks and your type. And voiceover is a place where you can come in and all that can go out the window, and you can play many, many different people and types, and it's very freeing. So I have found voiceover actors to be some of the most content actors that I've met in the business.
So pajamas, check, and joy and personality, check. I'm on it. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's also good news for us that your preferred acting is voiceover.
Oh yeah, you can have me anytime, anywhere.
Great.
I'm not kidding. My agents would be like, "Don't say that."
No.
Yeah. Whoops.
So this question is for Mark, but really any of you can answer it, because I'm sure you can each have a little story about it. So what is it that draws you to animated titles?
What I've always loved about working in animation is that the only real limitation is what you put on yourself. So from a writing standpoint, you can write anything, because we can, in animation, within reason, you can make anything that you can come up with, which is a very fun, freeing approach, and you can play with how you tell stories and environments and characters. So I've always loved the possibilities and the freedom of animation, even since I was a little kid.
Yeah, I'm sort of the guy that was grew up always drawing, even when I was little, and just I would watch cartoons all the time and try to draw them myself. So it's always been something that I've been drawn to as a art form. So I think I knew when I wanted to work in television and animation that I definitely wanted to do something with animation. I started my career as an animator. So it's just something that has always been a personal love of mine. So that's how I kind of ended up here. So.
Yeah, I think for voiceover actors, animation is like the gold ring or whatever. It's sort of the thing you that everybody would love to do because of the freedom and play of it. There's not a lot of really depressing animated series. There's not a lot of like, not usually having to play like, you know, someone dying of cancer in an animated series, which I do a lot on camera. Other storytelling is usually very dark. So it's kind of like a very bright, playful place. And it's, you know, I have to say too, it's actually, I feel like it's allowed me in my on-camera world to give myself more possibilities. I just had a possible thing coming up that was a character that normally I might have been like, oh, I don't know if that's in my wheelhouse. And then I realized when I'm doing voiceover, I don't think like that. I don't think like I can't do that. I feel very free. And I realized when I go on camera, I go immediately into like, I'm a type. And there's something about, I've started to take, when I'm reading scripts and thinking about taking projects or whatever, or going, if I thought about it as a voiceover, I wouldn't be afraid of that. So there's something in it that just frees you. And that's incredibly enjoyable as an actor for sure.
This show centers around a growing family and their hilarious escapades. If you were invited to join the family, what would your caveman or cavewoman name be, and how would you contribute to the family?
Oh no.
I wish we had like one of those keys where it's like, what's the name of the street you were born on, and
Yeah, so you could,
your first pet, and that's your caveman name.
Yep.
That's it. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna let them answer.
Ad-lib it. Mine would be
Yeah.
eat or food, so that's pretty easy.
Mine would be nap. I think I would be nap.
Yeah. I think I'd be probably something like Pebble, because I'm a very small little person. So seems like that would fit.
I love the idea, you know, and this is something you can gravitate towards when you don't have to do it, but I've always loved the idea of a world where you get to make your way with a club or a sword. So the name that popped in my head was Ambush, just because it's a cool
Ooh, I like
name.
Ambush.
I'm not sure that's the actual name, but I'll go with that for now.
Ambush, Pebble, and Nap.
I just, as a fun little trivia, learning about Amy, I had an old boyfriend. This is a really funny line. He said, you know, you want your partner to be like a rock. I'm like a pebble.
Yeah. I guess
Really
it
didn't work out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you probably didn't last long. I think what I would probably bring would be the sort of the cooking. I love to cook, so I would probably be the person always in the kitchen in the treehouse making dinner. I'd be like the host.
I like game day. I love playing games. So when you guys had the game episode,
Yeah.
really hard. I would bring like definitely team games of like celebrity and mafia. I would make this
game
one
night.
like mafia.
Yeah. Mark would invent the typewriter.
That's right.
Yes.
It was way easier than a chisel.
All right. So what are some of the values from the Croods new age that you want to carry over into Croods family tree?
Like the family values?
I guess like any, yeah, family values, any like life lessons, things like that.
I'll start. You know, the one of the core sort of messages in the movies that you know definitely resonates was the idea that the pack stays together. You know, and then Gruggs kept saying it over and over that he felt this very real responsibility for keeping the family together and protecting the family. That definitely carries over into the show. Like that's the place that Grug is coming from, that, you know, he wants to protect his family. He wants to keep them close. He doesn't want to lose touch with the world that he grew up with. But part of protecting his family is teaching them to adapt to the new world that they now live in and the new lifestyle that the Bettermans bring to the table. So he still has to maintain his protective stance, but he has to adapt and find a way to do it in this new world.
I think there's like a really strong message too in this in the film as well as our show, which is you know, it's nice to see people come together despite their differences and learn to sort of find common ground, and grow and learn from other points of view that you might not share, or maybe you do. But it's just, I think, something that, especially right now, is like a lot of it's okay to have different opinions, but if you find a way to find common ground and work together, the world will be better.
There's always common ground. If these families can find some commonalities, then we all can.
Humanity.
But I think what's also like true of them is they don't actually have to be together. They want to be together. And so also knowing that we all want community. And the only way to really have community is to compromise. Not everyone is always going to be exactly alike. And, but we want, life is better with more perspectives and personalities, and more rich and fulfilling. And you can fight, but then you can also, really find ways that you're similar and have an incredible time. I mean, I think it's funny that they keep living together when they drive each other crazy, but that makes them all feel alive. You don't want to be alone, and none of us, we're wolf pack people. We like to be with other people. And I think the show really talks about how to do that, how to find commonality. And I said this earlier, but I really love the way that the parenting, like Hope wants, her daughter to be somehow different, but her daughter is her daughter. And that sort of as a parent, I'm very aware of, like, I have stepkids and a kid, and they're all different types, and it's all the same parents, but the kids are totally different, and just realizing that we all have a certain nature that should be nurtured and loved.
Well said.
Yeah, those are all great. Well said. Very well said. I think they're all great points. I think it's a great continuation of the movie, and the animation style and the voice talent all are just really great. It's a really fun show. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.